June 18, 2026. The Ukrainian theater remains relentless. An artillery impact shatters the tree line, flushing out a panicked Russian soldier into the open. It is one of the strangest tactical anomalies we have documented. Disarmed, holding only a water bottle, he flees in erratic circles. He is trying anything to shake the tracking FPV drone. Pure tactical desperation. During terminal guidance, he hurls the bottle as a final useless countermeasure. It fails. The kinetic payload finds its mark. We observe an enemy combatant fortifying his bunker, digging deep to survive the incoming heat. But aerial reconnaissance had already logged his position. After a brief surveillance phase, we launch a lethal strike drone. A direct impact. The overhead cover collapses, burying the target beneath tons of debris. Against all odds, he survives, frantically digging himself out with a shovel. He is racing against time before the second wave hits. Right then, the second asset arrives on target. His escape window slams shut. The fortification he labored to build became his final resting place. A Russian soldier is caught inside a crude latrine, the absolute worst vulnerability window. Even in this compromised state, our hunter-killer drone finds him. Zero reaction time. Russian air observation outposts, typically holding 2 men, a radio, and Igla portable air defense missiles, exist to warn of incoming aerial threats. Our special operations teams hunted them down first. The outpost never had the opportunity to transmit an alert. During a routine recon flight, our operator runs directly into a hostile combatant. Realizing his danger, the soldier instantly opens fire. At close range, panic spoils his aim. He flees, but this barren terrain offers zero tactical cover. Within seconds, the asset intercepts him, a fatal corner. Meanwhile, Magwar's birds identify a lone target on the highway. An FPV drone closes the gap at 150 kilometers per hour. He spots it, but reaction is impossible. Caught completely exposed in the dead zone. He holds a rifle, but there is no time to aim. He bolts, scanning for defilade, but the field is empty. The drone dominates on speed, cutting off every desperate evasion angle. Absolute lock-in. Under cover of night, our thermal optics spot 3 Russian combatants moving in the open. No evasion, no dispersal, just frozen in place. Bad doctrine, absolute shock, or fatigue, we cannot say. The pilot commits the strike anyway. In the tree line, a lone hostile advances blind to our persistent surveillance. Moments later, a hunter drone arrives, meticulously clearing the canopy line by line until it locks onto his hiding spot. We observe an enemy combatant outside his trench, hyper-focused on preparing his own drone gear. A classic case of tunnel vision, entirely blind to his surroundings. Our FPV asset is already on final glide. He never detects the threat. The detonation occurs before he can react. Immediately post-blast, a second soldier breaks cover from the trench and flees. He abandons his gear, choosing immediate survival over tactical cohesion. Let us analyze some older, newly declassified footage of this full clash. An enemy multi-purpose armored carrier unloads infantry at the front line. Suddenly, a Ukrainian Bradley moves to intercept. The Bradley's 25mm Bushmaster autocannon unloads, shredding the light armored carrier with rapid, devastating force. That light plating was never rated to survive sustained autocannon fire. It absorbs catastrophic punishment under the Bradley's relentless barrage. Ultimately, the target is neutralized. It was a transport built for rapid deployment. Ours was engineered specifically for heavy combat. The adversary relies on night operations, assuming the darkness shields them. But for our forces, night is our primary tactical advantage. Thermal optics completely strip away their cover. Hostile movement in the dark becomes highly visible, triggering high-speed chases across open sectors. Targets flee blindly, unable to localize the incoming threat. In absolute darkness, the enemy is completely exposed. They only realize their vulnerability when kinetic impact is imminent. One of our medium-range assets intercepts a Russian logistics truck deep behind the lines. A devastating strike. Another enemy supply line is severed. In the southern Donetsk sector, 2 enemy combatants break for the tree line, pursued by an active asset. They seek refuge in the canopy, but our high-explosive drone penetrates the brush to neutralize them anyway. We locate a major hostile assembly area. Personnel vehicles and high-value equipment packed into a tight staging zone. Our 15th Army Corps executes a coordinated multi-domain assault. Heavy artillery strikes first systematically dismantling their fortifications block by block. Simultaneously, our FPV swarm is airborne hunting for any surviving high-value targets. We hunt down retreating infantry as they scatter in panic, attempting to hide in burning vehicles or ruined structures. Tactical maneuvers mean nothing here. Persistent artillery combined with constant drone surveillance leaves no room for escape. Two distinct weapon systems coordinating on a single target in real time. Once the strike concludes, the entire defensive position is completely neutralized. Hostile transport assets delivering frontline infantry are left completely exposed and entirely unguarded. This indicates a total collapse of standard military discipline. Ukrainian drone operators from the 63rd Infantry Brigade systematically isolate and eliminate each asset. Zero air defense, zero escort, zero cover. The combatants delivered to this sector are now effectively stranded without any extraction options. We observe a lone, hostile combatant wandering aimlessly, clearly disoriented in a highly hostile environment. Aerial reconnaissance assets maintain visual contact while an FPV strike drone waits on standby. But deployment proves unnecessary. The target moves directly into an unmarked minefield, completely oblivious to the hazard. Moments later, he detonates two mines simultaneously. Moscow, Thursday, June 18, 2026. A massive strategic drone raid strikes the hostile capital in the pre-dawn hours. Nearly 200 drones penetrate the airspace. Defending air assets intercept the majority of incoming threats. However, penetration was achieved. The strategic Moscow oil refinery was hit for the second time in 7 days. This installation processes over a third of the capital region's fuel supply. Consequently, all 4 regional airports are grounded. Thick plume clouds obscure the skyline. This represents a highly calculated, deliberate operation. The enemy is systematically neutralizing industrial infrastructure. Fuel, logistics, and supply lines are being shattered less than 10 miles from command headquarters. A capital once considered secure is now subject to recurring bombardment, exposing a failure in strategic defense. Ukrainian Su-27 pilots deploy GBU-62 precision munitions against hostile logistics. Their primary objective is a pontoon crossing utilized for transporting heavy armor and critical supplies over the river. A direct impact. One less arterial route available. Operations now expand into the Bryansk region. A sabotage unit from the 413th SBS Regiment struck a locomotive near Judalovo, crippling a vital rail network utilized for deep logistics. This unexpected interdiction demonstrates excellent rear area penetration. Meanwhile, aerial combat intensifies. Specialist interceptor drone units are hunting down hostile unmanned aerial systems before they reach critical airspace. During this singular engagement, 20 Mi-2 strike platforms were intercepted and destroyed mid-air. No surface-to-air missiles or standard air defenses were used. Dedicated FPV interceptor drones neutralized these threats. Consequently, 20 Russian strike platforms failed to reach their planned objectives. Local air superiority has been effectively established by Ukraine. Ukrainian forces utilize PTMU magnetic anti-vehicle mines. Heavy drones camouflaged with cement and paint covertly seed them along hostile supply corridors. This operational footage originates from a hostile combatant who discovered an active mine. Hostile engineers repeatedly attempt to bridge the Kazan-Toret River, resulting in successive failures. We observe another tracked pontoon layer completely destroyed. An infantry transport was eliminated. Now a ZIL truck transporting bridging equipment is also neutralized. Each bridging operation is neutralized prematurely. As we observe daily, this represents a relentless war of attrition. Infantry trapped in the open without defensive cover. Supply convoys are interdicted long before reaching their destinations. Defensive positions are compromised prior to establishment. On June 18, 2026, the conflict's strategic scale reached a new threshold. Ukraine executed its most massive strategic drone operation against Moscow since hostilities began. Almost 200 drones penetrated the capital's airspace at dawn, striking the Moscow oil refinery for the second time in 7 days. All 4 metropolitan airports suspended operations. Thick black smoke blanketed the city for hours. Frontline reports show minor hostile advances near Konstantinovka and Pokrovsk, yet translating tactical gains into operational success remains out of reach. Concurrently precise Ukrainian strategic interdiction has reduced Russian crude refining output to a 16-year low. Though the adversary commits reserve echelons forward, Ukrainian forces actively neutralize them at the front in the airspace and deep within Russian territory. While the forward line of contact holds, the logistical engine is burning. Today, that smoke billows directly over Moscow. How will the adversary respond? Share your tactical assessment below.